Morning all, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this, or even the evening. So we're on to week 9 today, so online lecture. I'm just going to talk you through, it's going to be quite a short video this, so just about the upcoming test, preparation, bit of explanation, etc. Because it's coming up quickly now, so next week, so you need to be sort of honing your skills and really concentrating your efforts on doing very well in this test, which I'm sure you all will. Okay, so just a reminder, the test will take place on Thursday, December the 2nd at 12 noon. It'll be for 90 minutes, and then you'll get 10 minutes to submit your work after that. And it's remote, so all the details will be in Blackboard. So, okay, so that's Thursday, December the 2nd, 12 noon. 2 parts to the test, as you know, we've done plenty over the last few weeks. So the first part is a story, 120 to 140 words. It's worth 25 marks out of 100. If I were you, I'd allow 20 to 25 minutes for this part of the test, really. If you do it quicker, great, but try not to take much longer on this first part. And I think you've all been doing pretty well getting it down to those sort of levels. So if not, time to practice a bit more. The approach to take is that it's a web story for immediate publication and only use material from question 1. So my advice is don't even look at question 2 while you're doing question 1, because that'll just muddy your thoughts. So you need to keep a clear head when you're looking at the first part. Okay, the second part. As you know, it's 275 to 325 words for immediate online publication using the additional information you've been presented with. And this is worth 75 marks out of 100, so by far the most important part of this test. And you really want to give yourself a good hour to write this, really, because it's so important, this one. As you know, it's going to be a completely separate story. There's always a development, so you're looking out for that key change, and you're telling the story to a new audience, so don't assume that people have read the first part of your story. You're looking to update the intro to the new best angle, and you can use material from question 1 in question 2. So in question 2, you're gathering together all the information you've been presented with from parts 1 and 2, coming up with the best angle and the best intro. Okay, so how will you be assessed? Well, the criteria we're looking for good angle, plenty to perk the interest of your reader, accuracy. Now this is key, really. You need to get everything spot on, because you will be penalised if you get basic facts wrong. You use quotes, copy down quotes wrongly, names, ages, place names, things like that. Check, 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 and check again. Make sure you get all those things right. Watch for little, awkward spellings. Remember that one a few weeks ago where the surname was Townend, whereas we'd normally expect it to be Townsend. So, we are looking for accuracy. Style and structure. We've gone over that quite a lot. So you're looking at, a good intro, second and third pars. You want to answer the remaining W's or the H that you haven't answered in the intro. And we're looking for a good structure, really. Good quotes used, quite high up in the story. Good use of a direct quote. So they've got to be the most emotive, the best quotes. That mix of direct and indirect speech. So indirect speech, use that for the less interesting, aspects of the facts and figures. Grammar and spelling, absolutely key. So if you've got any weak spots with things like apostrophes, now's the time to get that absolutely nailed. And obviously spelling, make sure your spelling is absolutely spot on. There's a spell check available. Watch out for American spellings. For example, don't spell realised with a Z. In Great Britain, it's with an S. So just be careful of things such as that. Okay, some important points just to whiz through. Difference between an intro and a headline. So we're not looking for headlines here, we're looking for intro. An intro is written the same way as any other sentence in your story. It's a full English sentence. It needs to be concise. And obviously give the main angle. You're looking for that wow factor. You're looking for what will perk the interest of your reader. About 15 to 20 words in length. Remember to answer the 5 W's and the H. So preferably in the intro and the second part, you need to have cracked all those. If they leak into the third part, that's fine. 4-part rule, we've spoken about that. So that means the first 4 paragraphs should be self-contained and tell the essence of the story, ideally with the best quote in there. The rest of the story contains some material that's less vital, less useful. Just about how to start a story. Remember, don't start with a preamble such as earlier today or yesterday evening the police were called or an ambulance arrived, because this is obvious when a crime's been committed or someone's been badly hurt. Think about who first off. That is the key one of the 5 W's to think about first off. So who's affected by the story? Who's the hero? Who's the villain? Who's the victim? Who's the most important person? Generally, you want to start with that person. But if you do identify that person, unless they're incredibly famous, my example about Boris Johnson or David Beckham, then don't put their name in the intro. Call them a 24-year-old banker or a Norworth lecturer or something like that. If the story concerns an MP in that area, then I think it's okay to mention that person's name, because he'll be known by everybody, on that particular patch. So this is all stuff that we've covered extensively over the last few weeks, but just refresh yourselves. So all paragraphs need to flow as sentences. So make sure, again, you're not writing headlines. 1 sentence per paragraph. So I think I've spoken to you all about breaking up your copy as you're writing it. So write a sentence, stick a return in, and then that'll help you see the flow of the story a bit better. Refer to the style guide, please. The format for quotes, ages, and numbers. So remember, numbers 1 to 9 are written out, like ONE for 1. 10 and above, use numerals. So 10 would be 1, 0, numerals. So 1 to 9 written out, 10 and above, numerals. And that works the same with ages. Always put the wordage at the end of your story. That's a must, so don't forget to do that. And check your story. I mentioned this earlier. Check and check again, particularly your spellings, names, places, ages, things like that. Okay, when you're introducing the name of somebody, when you first mention them to be, for example, Dave Lafferty or David Lafferty, and after that I'd be referred to as Mr. Lafferty. So first off, I'm David Lafferty. After that is Mr. Lafferty. Again, you can check the style guide for more information on that. Always look to put somebody's age in, helps build up that mental picture, so the earlier the better. Using addresses, remember, don't use house numbers. The only time you'd ever use a house number that I can think of is 10 Downing Street. Other than that, it's Dave Lafferty of Finney Green or High Street or something like that. No house number or anything like that. Another point about numbers: never start a sentence with a number. Either write it out as a word or change the sentence around. So you wouldn't write 51-51-year-old David Lafferty. You'd put David Lafferty, 51, So never start a sentence with a number. If you have to, then you'd write out 51 FIFTY-ONE year old. So always avoid that if you can. Okay, just a round up here about the intro. be concise. You can include general things like towns. Always good to get a bit of geography in there to give context to your story. Mix up your quotes, indirect and direct speech. And if I were you, I'd present full sentences. You can use partial quotes or lift out some words, but if you want to keep it simple and straightforward to avoid things getting a bit messy, use full sentences if you can. Punctuation, double speech marks for quotes, and apostrophes only for possession and contraction. And like I say, if you've got a bit of trouble with apostrophes, but I've not seen many people who have, to being honest, which is good because I had a bit of trouble with them, if I'm being honest. But a quick revise of your use of apostrophes would be good. I've already mentioned about numbers. Okay, so what you want to make sure you do is prioritise the strongest content, write concisely, pay attention to detail. Accuracy is absolutely key to doing well with this test. If you have a look in Blackboard, there's plenty of additional resources available to you. Various guides, including the style guide. There's that sheet of news writing tips, which you need to take a look at. Just a few general points about the test. Just to remind you, it's online, so you don't have to do it at university as long as you've got a safe, secure place where you can get your head down for an hour and a half. You can use a dictionary if you need to. And this is really important. There can't be any communication with fellow students or anybody else until you've submitted your work. We do have software that monitors similarity, and it's red hot. I've not seen this sort of software before I started working here, and it does pick up anything that's similar to anybody else's work, not just during this test, but it's anywhere out there on the internet as well. So just be aware of that. It's basically wherever you do it, it's exam conditions. So you're on your own, you've got your head down, and you're doing the test. Okay. So it's going to be remote. You don't need to be within the university. Make sure you're in a suitable environment. You have access to a computer equipped with Word, access to the internet, and you will need Blackboard. Just a note about plagiarism there that I've just mentioned. You need to submit your paper via Turnitin in the submission folder within the assessment area of the module. So if you have a look in Blackboard, just familiarise yourself. It's all under Assessment 1 section, which the way I look at Blackboard is towards the bottom of Blackboard. So just make sure you're familiar with that. 90 minutes to complete the test, and a further 10 minutes allowed for your submission. So, okay. Right, so if you've got any queries in the meantime, please email me or have a word at the workshop that you'll attend. So anything you're unsure of, now this week is the opportunity to have a word with me. Okay, so in the workshops in week 9, we'll be doing pretty much a mock test really. So it'll be a full hour and a half. We'll have a look at sample answers as well, and just see how you're getting on. So, okay, thank you very much. Like I say, any queries, feel free to drop me an email or take the chance to have a word with me at the workshops. Okay, good luck. Thank you.